What's up? What's up? Been a couple weeks since I made my last video. Um, I just be getting busy. You know what I mean? I'll be getting occupied with work. You know, being a parent. I have a lot on my plate right now. But here we are. This morning, it is March the 8th, Friday, March the 8th. And I figured I should make a video about road trips and how important it is to be prepared for your road trip. Worst thing you can do is take a road trip and not be prepared. Even worse, take a road trip by yourself and not be prepared. So my video is going to be valuable for someone traveling with others, but primarily, you know, the advice and tips that I'm going to be giving in this video is going to be for people that's traveling alone, you know, doing a long road trip. You know, anything over, I say 6-7 hours is considered to me a long road trip. And I'm going to be taking a trip next week. I'm going to be driving from Georgia to Pennsylvania, you know, and that's going to be, hopefully I can do the whole trip in about 13 hours. With very little stops and very little traffic, hopefully. But I think I'm going to run into traffic because I'm leaving on a weekday. So, in like midday on a weekday. So, I think I'm going to run into some traffic, but, you know, we'll see. I'm not going to do these tips in any specific order. I was about to say tip number 1, but it's no specific order. It's just things, you know, that you need to have prepared. First of all, get your mind right. Clear your head. If you have anything on your mind, that actually might be a good thing, depending on if you are able to focus on the road and think. Thinking on a road trip is very valuable. It helps pass the time. You know, you're focused on the road, but your mind is also working, you know, having plenty of thoughts about whatever, you know, is going on in your life, plans you may have. Plans you may have when you get to your destination, whatever. But, you know, you can take that time to really, you know, sit back, relax, and think, you know. Now, after gassing up your car, obviously, I would recommend that you prepare yourself by having a lot of snacks. Snacks are very vital for a road trip for several reasons. For one, if you have snacks that you prepare before you get in, you know, start your journey, you know, that'll cut back on maybe your drive time because, you know, for like a 12-hour trip or longer, you're not really going to, I don't know, I wouldn't want to bring something from home. You know what I mean? I want to get hot food or a cold sandwich, but a fresh cold sandwich if I did have that, you know, on the road, on the way there. But, you know, something like snacks could be pretzels, chips. If you like candy, I'm not a big candy person. But, you know, something just to snack on. And I'm going to tell you why is vital in several reasons. For one is, you know, giving your body some nutrients or something to go on. And it helps me, I've learned, to stay awake when you get tired. I hear a lot of truckers make videos and things on YouTube pertaining to different ways and techniques they have to stay awake on long drives. And, you know, truckers, you know, they have it hard. I went out on a road trip with a trucker once and I did part of the driving. And I have a lot of newfound respect for them because they have a lot of deadlines to keep and they have to be in certain places, certain times, or it can mess their money up. Not to mention, you know, driving those big rigs, big box trucks, you know, or 18 wheelers, whatever. It's dangerous. It's dangerous for yourself and everybody else on the road if you're not well rested. If you're dozing off behind the wheel, that's not cool at all. I don't care if you were on a motorcycle or a small vehicle. Definitely if you on a big rig, that's detrimental to everybody on the road. So, truckers have all different types of techniques and tips and things they use to, keep them awake. Also, legally, they can't drive but a certain amount of hours per day, so they have to get their rest in. But, somebody driving their own personal vehicle, there are no rules. You can drive as long as you want to drive. Or should I say as long as your body permits you to drive. And back to the snacks. It could be a little pack of cookies. It could be, packs of cookies and stuff, crackers. Just something for you to do with your hands and, hand-to-mouth motion or whatever that can keep you awake, can help you stay awake. I drink a lot of coffee when I do drive. I have coffee and water. I'm getting coffee at every gas stop. Even if I feel like I don't want it, I'll just get a cup of coffee usually. Other than that, I recommend you pack water. Lots and lots of water. I would get a case. Even for a 12-hour drive. You don't got to get a case. But, you never know what can happen. So, if you got room for it, put you a pack of water in the back of your car. Of course, you're not going to drink all that water in 12, 14 hours. But emergencies happen. Anything can happen. If you have the room, take it. If not, just take you about 4 or 5, maybe 6 bottles. That may be enough for you. But I recommend getting gas and food all at the same locations. Not necessarily saying you have to get your food from a gas station, but when you're traveling on big highways, big interstates or whatever, they usually have rest stops where it may be a gas station connected to a Chick-fil-A or a gas station connected to a McDonald's or something like that. Or they may be right next to each other, So those are the type of stops that, I would normally make when I need gas. I'm going to stop somewhere where I can get gas and food. Also, go to the bathroom. Every time you stop, even if you feel like you don't got to go, try to go. Go to the bathroom. Worst thing you can do is be out there and have to pull over on the side of the road, or you do what some people do. This wouldn't be big enough, but some people take bottles, empty bottles. I know men necessarily. I've heard truckers do it too. Gatorade bottle or something, and you're driving down the road and you're trying to pee in a little bottle or something. That's not cool. Just go ahead and do what you got to do when you get gas and food. Go to the bathroom. I will try to limit my stops to no more than 15 minutes maximum. But if I can get out of there in 5 to 10 minutes, I'm good. It's probably going to take me more than 5 minutes to pump the gas, but 5 to 10 minutes, you're doing really good. If you in that time frame, you fill up and get you something to eat real quick, and maybe you run to the bathroom. What I try to do, I'll pump the gas, and you know how pumps will have the little switch. I forget what you call it, but you have the little switch on the gas pump where it's manually pumping. You don't have to hold it. You don't have to just hold it there. You have that running, go in and go to the bathroom or go buy your food, whatever you do. Music is very important to me. To each his own. To me, I have a playlist. It's a streaming service that every time I take a ride, that I have to make sure my streaming service is up to date and paid for, whatever. I actually have a title, but you can get what you want. And create you a playlist, a few days ahead of time, and have you about 60 something songs where you can just push play and they just run. If you want to skip them every now and then, you can, but just be able to, press play and not worry about the radio station or CDs, switching CDs around. If you only got CDs, you got it. But if you can get a streaming service, either connected to your car some type of way, I don't know if you can do that. But I know definitely with your cell phone, the streaming service app can be on your phone. And you can link that to your car through the auxiliary cables and all that type of stuff. And, that's really handy for when you are on long road trips and you just want to have music going. Me personally, music is another tool that I use, another trick that I use to stay awake. I'll play some slow songs, but some people that might put them to sleep. But I'll mix it up. I'll have some slow songs with some hip hop songs. I may even throw in some rock songs in there, But songs I'm familiar with that I may sing along with or whatever helps me stay awake. I heard one guy say something about he doesn't like to play music on his long road trips because he feels like that's another way to make yourself tired. I disagree, but for him, he felt like that would make himself tired because if you're using energy singing along to the songs, whatever. But I disagree. Me personally, I feel like that boosts me. Climate. Your temperature and climate is very important. I'm somebody that I don't like a lot of heat. Depending on the time of year, it is when you're doing your drive. Depends on what the climate in your car may be doing. Like you may have the air on. If it's summertime, obviously. I'm a big fan of fresh air. I'm a big fan of fresh air and, just letting that window down halfway or just some little crack and just having some type of fresh air coming in there. Because that's another way that I, stay awake and, it helps keep me going. It gives me like a little sense of energy just breathing in fresh air. Now, you have to be careful with that because, it's a lot of factories, depending on what location you're traveling in the country. It's a lot of factories on interstates on the sides, and, you could let in some funk or some type of foul odor coming from some type of chemical plant or factory or something. But, you got something you got to deal with. Overall, the air is going to be fresh coming in throughout your journey, majority of the time. I don't recommend you drink and drive. I'm drinking right now, and I'm sitting here making this video. I would never drink and drive on a long road trip. I don't think I have to say that. Maybe I do, but I did. So I don't recommend alcohol at all. And you'll notice at a lot of rest stops that gas stations tend to sell 6-packs or loose cans or bottles of beer, wine. They may have straight up alcohol, like liquor, like vodka or stuff like that, rum. I would never partake in any of that on the road for multiple reasons. Not to mention it's illegal. You get to your destination. If you want to drink all you want. Now, other than that, if you feel yourself getting tired to the point where you can't control it, when your eyes get heavy and you start doing these, there's rest stops. Or if you don't know when the next rest stop is, pull over immediately and put your blinkers on. Because the worst thing you could do is be out there, and I mentioned this earlier, and be tired and be driving. It's no, I mean, like I know truckers. There's a big story where the trucker hit Tracy Morgan. He had a tour bus. Tracy Morgan, the actor and comedian. It was a Walmart tractor trailer, and it ran into his tour bus, and Tracy was almost killed, and someone was killed. One of his friends, close friends, was killed. And a lot of accidents and tragedies happen constantly due to not just truckers, but people in general on the road when they shouldn't be, whether they're intoxicated or they're sleepy. Pull over. You know what I mean? If you're a trucker and you watching this video, you feel like you're going to miss some money, miss that money, because, you know, you're jeopardizing somebody else's life and your own over money. But if you're just, you know, like I'm about to do, I'm traveling to my home, which is my home city of Philly. I'm not going to be on nobody's time but my own. So if it gets to that point, which I know I'm going to be well rested, but if I felt that way, I felt uncomfortable in any way where I felt like my driving is potentially going to be hazardous to me or someone else, I'm going to easily pull over. There's no ands, ifs, or buts about it. Without hesitation, I will pull over. So I recommend you do that. There is a level of fatigue where you can fight it, and everybody knows their body. Everybody knows their limits of how far they can push themselves, and that's something I tend to do. I do push myself, but like if I can't control it, and I feel myself getting too woozy, like I'm about to, it's gonna be bad. Way ahead of time, I'm going to pull over, and I can feel that coming on way ahead of time. But like I said, I don't play with that, and I try to get rest 2 nights before. Good rest 2 nights before I actually take a trip. Not just the night before, but the day before that, if I can, I'm going to definitely get good rest. Go to bed at a decent hour. And, you know, before I set myself up for a long, over 10-hour drive, something like that. I'm drinking a lot. I mentioned being hydrated in water. I mentioned food. Cruise control. A lot of cars have cruise control, some don't. But most cars, I believe, especially up-to-date cars, definitely have cruise control. If that's something that you haven't utilized just driving from A to B in your city, which is really no reason to utilize cruise control driving primarily in city when you get constantly at stop signs and lights, traffic lights. When you're on open highway, speed limit may be 70, 75, something like that. You can set that cruise control to 70. Let's say the speed limit is at 70. I would set it at 70. Maybe get in the fast lane, depending on how much traffic it is, and just go. And that way you can relax your legs a little bit. You know what I mean? Me, myself, when I set my cruise control, I feel myself flexing my feet around, you know, wiggling my toes and things. I don't use the cruise control the whole trip, me personally. But when I feel my legs getting almost like they feel like they're falling asleep or they're getting stiff, I'll utilize the cruise control. At that point, I may, you know, have one hand on the steering wheel, and now I got the cruise control set, and, you know, I can move my legs back and, you know, massage my legs if I want to, whatever. You can do that as an alternative to maybe pulling over if you feel like you need to stretch. I'm tall. I'm almost 6'4", 6'3", and like 3/4. So, you know, being bunched up in a car for you know, 3 hours at a time, depending on how long it takes your car to run out of gas, you need gas, at least 3 hours at a time, can become wearing on the body. So that's another benefit of pulling over. You know, when you do go to those rest stops, definitely walk to the bathroom. Like I said, if you don't have to go to the bathroom, just walking to the bathroom or walk to the cashier to pay for your gas and, you know, maybe get a snack or two or some food helps your body and your legs, you know, getting that little stretch that you need. But like I said, cruise control, utilize it. I don't recommend using it if you're not familiar with it in heavy traffic, if there's a lot of traffic around you. But if it's light traffic and you're a newcomer to using cruise control, you'll be all right. You know what I mean? Most cases, the way cruise control is set up is either a button you push and it goes back to, you know, manual driving, or maybe I know an older car. I know my dad's older car. I know when you used to hit the brake, his cruise control would automatically go off. Some cars is the brake. Some cars it's a button maybe on the steering wheel. So just test it out. But I recommend that you utilize it once you get comfortable with it, and it helps. What else? This video's been 20 minutes. See how I've been talking? And I lost track of time. That's another thing about road trips. If you have someone else in the car with you, talking helps pass the time. And, you focus on the road, but you can be in a conversation or whatever. That helps pass the time. That helps keep you awake naturally. If you're by yourself, like I'm going to be this week, talk on the phone to somebody. Perhaps. I recommend that you don't have to, have your phone to your ear like this. Definitely get you a set of headphones, Bluetooth, something like that, where your hands are free. And you could just, have a nice conversation with somebody. I won't recommend you argue with anybody. Why do that while you're on the road? That's going to be stressful. But, get you a nice headset, Bluetooth or something. And, maybe kill an hour, hour and a half talking to, a friend, catching up with somebody. You know what I mean? That you may not have talked to for a while. Or somebody you talk to all the time or whatever. But, talking on the phone and just talking in general helps you pass the time. And it helps on road trips. I can make a part 2 to this video. I'm not. And I feel like I'm leaving out something. But it's been 21 minutes already. This video's been very long. But, have faith in yourself. I know when you look on maps and Google Maps and you see that time in the distance between from point A to point B, you just feel like, oh, that's impossible. I'm not going to be able to do that, But people doing it every day. Somebody's doing it right now, and you can do it too. So believe in yourself, have faith in yourself, and be safe. Always drive safe. I don't recommend speeding. I didn't touch on speeding. Touch on speeding real quick. The obvious is if you do speed, you jeopardize yourself as far as getting in an accident, but also you can get pulled over. The lighter side of it is just getting pulled over from speeding and getting those tickets and dealing with those state troopers and things. And they are out there on the highways. They lurking. They'll be driving in unison with you, or they can be in a cut somewhere in a ducky spot. Behind some bushes where you least suspect it, and you doing 10 miles over the speed limit, and they're on you. They may let you pass doing 5 miles over the speed limit, but they have those devices where they sit in their cars and they waiting for somebody to go off, and that sensor will go off and let them know that you're speeding. So you will get pulled over. So if you think you're picking up time and making time by speeding, in reality, once you get pulled over, they may have you sitting there for half an hour to an hour just to write you some tickets. Unnecessarily, when you could have just been, doing a speed limit. You'll get there when you get there, and you'll get there safely. So I didn't touch on the speeding, but I don't recommend speeding at all. No more than 5 miles over whatever the designated speed limit is, because I think that's the little grace that they give you. No more than 5, depending on the flow of traffic. Also, real quick, about those speed lanes. The fast lane, I should say. There's always people speeding behind me, and I see them coming in my rearview mirror. I get over. I put my turn signals on. If I can get over safely, I get over. If not, I just make them wait. And then they get mad and go around me. But, that's just common courtesy. I don't even think I have to touch on that. But some people may not be experienced with long highway driving. There's always somebody that wants to go a little bit faster than you, even if they're going 3-4 miles faster than you. And they're going to come up to your bumper. You'll see them coming. And you'll realize they're coming and accelerating way faster than what I'm going. So, give yourself enough time to get over safely. Put the turn signal on and just let them go. That's about that fast lane life. I could do a whole video on that just about. But, be safe. Be careful. Hope you like my videos. You like my videos, press like. I'm going to end this video right here before it hits 25 minutes, and it's about to. It's 24 minutes. But I appreciate everybody watching. And I think I'm going to make another video later about another topic. But I needed to make this video. I felt it was necessary because I'm going on a road trip. And there's a lot of people to take road trips with their families. And they need to know the do's and don'ts. And I gave you some. Peace.